Today we're going to be ranking some of the main Robux methods, from the worst methods to the best methods on Roblox to make Robux. So we're starting off with developing, and I think developing is a great method to make Robux. A lot of people use this method and get very, very rich on Roblox. In fact, the richest people on Roblox are all mostly developers. You know, when you think of Adopt Me, Pet Simulator, these owners have made millions and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in real life just from their games on Roblox. So these games make serious Robux, and it's actually very, very possible. It's actually pretty cool when you realize that a lot of games on Roblox make a good amount of money. And even a game with like 1,000 players concurrently throughout the day can easily bring in tens of millions of Robux per year. So there's definitely a ton of opportunity when it comes to the developing space on Roblox. I also see a lot of games constantly popping out of nowhere and just going completely viral with like tens of thousands of players on Roblox all the time. So it's definitely possible to make one of those games that just takes off like crazy and makes a ton of Robux and gets you really, really rich. And if you don't want to individually make a Roblox game, you can even join a team that's already working on a game and help them with a certain aspect of their game in exchange for a payment or a share of that game. So definitely a lot of opportunities for developing. Now the thing is, with developing, it's not all just perfect stuff, right? There's definitely a lot of work that goes into making games, and it is actually pretty hard to make a game that goes on the front page. Like there's a lot of work. There's building, there's scripting, UI, audio, the graphics. There's very little details of the game, the idea, making sure all the bugs are fixed, having a whole community. Like there's a lot of parts that go into a game that you probably don't realize when you play it. But some of these front page games actually take years and years to fully develop. Another problem with developing is that it's pretty unpredictable. Some games that have no effort put into them just absolutely blow up and make a ton of money, while games that have a ton of effort that you can clearly see just do really bad and have like 10 players concurrently sometimes. Very unfortunate, but it happens all the time on Roblox. And yeah, as I said before, there's a lot that goes into a game, so it can be very difficult to learn all the different skills for developing to make a full game. To combat that, you can just learn a certain skill like scripting or building and then just help a team with that certain aspect that you're really good at. So that's definitely an option instead of just individually going and making your own game by yourself. So yeah, with that all said, I would put developing at a solid A tier. I don't think it's a perfect S tier. There's definitely some problems with it, but it's overall a pretty good method and can definitely make you a ton of Robux, especially if your game does well. Next, we have a fan favorite, which is donations. I'm sure all of you love donations and love to just stand and please donate and get huge donations all the time. But unfortunately, the problem with donations is, first of all, you usually don't really get donations. Like it's pretty rare to get a real donation if you're just a nobody in a please donate game, unfortunately. And the second thing is, if you do get a donation, chances are it's probably going to be like 5 Robux or 10 Robux, which is nice, but it's nothing crazy like 10,000 or 100,000. Now it is possible to get huge donations. I've donated a ton of Robux to people before. I've joined please donate servers and gave like everybody in the server a ton of Robux. I've seen videos where people have been donated 1 million Robux. And the problem with that is it makes it seem like donations are just constantly happening all the time. And to a certain extent, it is kind of true. There is a ton of donations in please donate all the time, especially when you look at that leaderboard where you can just see all the donations happening. But the truth is, if you're just like a random person playing please donate, you're probably going to get like maximum like 1 donation, 2 donations per day. And it's just really, really hard to actually get noticed. And I just feel like compared to some of the other Robux methods, it's just not really worth putting so much time and energy into something that's probably going to make you barely anything when you could be spending your time on something much more valuable like developing or commissions or just something else that will actually show you something if you put a lot of work into it. So for those reasons, I'm going to put donations at a D tier. I do think it is possible to get huge donations, and by all means try and get huge donations if you can, but definitely don't make this your main method because it's probably not going to go anywhere. Our next method is trading, and I actually really do like trading. I think it's a great method. What's awesome about trading is it's very unique compared to all the other methods. Like all the other methods are selling something or doing a service for somebody, but with trading it's like completely different. So when you're trading on Roblox, you're trading limiteds for other limiteds, and you're trying to get the best deal possible with every trade that you make. If you're a trader, you're probably spending a lot of time in Trade Hangout, great game to find trades. You're also probably using things like Rollymons. There's also some great trading discords where you can find trades and just talk about limiteds and trading in general. And yeah, trading is a great method. I think it's a really fun method. Seeing different limiteds and being able to wear all these different limiteds that you see and get in different trades is really fun. There are a few slight disadvantages about trading. Like it is pretty time consuming. It does take a while to get a lot of trades and get good deals. And the other problem is there's also a lot of scams and hacks and just people trying to steal your account and steal all of your limiteds. But if you can deal with all of those risks and problems, then you're probably going to like trading a lot, and it is a very fun method, so I would recommend trading. I'm going to put trading at a B tier. I think it's a great method, very solid method, but it does take a while, and there's a lot of scams and hacks out there, so you do have to be a little bit careful with it, but it is pretty fun, so I would put it at a solid B tier. Our next method is clothing designing. Now, I think clothing designing is a pretty cool method, and there's a lot of people that really like to make clothing, and that's awesome. There's a lot of different softwares that you can use to make clothing. There's like Photoshop, there's Photopea if you don't want to pay for Photoshop, Paint.net, Canva. So a lot of different resources. You can learn on YouTube tutorials of how to make clothing. So with enough effort, you can definitely get really good at clothing designing. And yeah, if you have fun with making clothing, then I definitely think it's a great method for you. If you're individually making clothing, then it's a little bit hard to kind of get noticed and to have your clothing all get noticed and stuff without like ads and social media and stuff. So I would definitely recommend using ads and social media to try and get your clothing out there. Another method you can do is just join a clothing group and design for them if you're really good. So that's another great way to make Robux with clothing designing. I think it's an okay method. It's definitely not the best out there, and it's definitely not like the highest ceiling possible to make Robux. Like, you're kind of capped at whatever your clothing makes, or if you're in a clothing group, your payment for designing for them. So I don't think it's as free as something like commissions or developing, but I think it's an okay method, especially if you enjoy making it. So I would put clothing designing at a solid B tier. Now, if you've watched any of my videos in the past like 6 months to a year, you know that I love commissions for a very good reason, and that is that it's a great way to make Robux, especially if you don't have Robux, you don't have premium. So there's a lot of different commissions you can make. You can make graphics, you can make building commissions, you can make clothing commissions, basically anything on Roblox you can make commissions of. And what commissions are is you basically sell a product to somebody. Like, for example, you make a graphic for them and they hire you to make it, and then you make it for them and they give you the Robux. Or for clothing, you make them a shirt or pants, or you make a build for them, a script for them. So this is very common, and there's a lot of resources where you can find people that want to pay you for commissions. So some of these resources are things like the Talent Hub, which Roblox recently opened, which is amazing to find jobs on there. Plenty of Discord servers where you can find people looking for commissions. You can also build up a personal brand with like social media, Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms. Definitely have a good personal brand on there that helps a lot with commissions and getting sales. Another great tip for commissions is to have a good profile. So like, have a lot of examples, just make it look really professional. If you have a lot of really good looking examples, that's going to help out your sales like crazy. And often I see people say that they can't get any sales because either they're not that good at commissions, or they just don't have any good examples on their page. So when you're first starting out, you might have to make some stuff for free or for somebody that you're a fan of, and that will just kind of help you get some examples to put on your profile. But trust me, it's going to help a lot in the long term if you have really high quality examples on your profile, because then people can see that and they'll know that you're good at commissions, and you'll start getting plenty of sales. But yeah, I love commissions. I think it's a great way to make Robux, especially because you don't need any Robux, you don't need premium. A lot of these other methods, you do need a bit of Robux or a bit of money to start and actually get really good at them. But with commissions, it's completely free. There's YouTube tutorials everywhere for every type of commission you could think of. And then you can just use free softwares, free graphic stuff. You can use Roblox Studio for building and scripting. So it's definitely a huge opportunity, especially for people that don't have Robux. And I think it's one of the best methods, if not the best method, to make Robux. There's also a huge ceiling, because the better you get at commissions, the more higher your prices go. And I've seen people charge $100 or more per commission, especially when it comes to really high quality commissions. So for those reasons, I'm going to put commissions at a solid S tier. Now we have my favorite method, and I think you can guess why. Content creation. I think this is a great method, and I love content creation. Actually, I'm doing it right now. But yeah, content creation is a great method. What I like to do with content creation is I like to combo it with another Robux method. So for example, if you're doing developing or commissions or trading, you can become a development YouTuber, a trading YouTuber, or a commissions YouTuber. And you see this all the time. A lot of famous YouTubers are already doing other Robux methods to make money in Robux, and then they're just kind of doing YouTube and then just talking about their main Robux method. And it works really well, because then they get content to make videos about, and those videos bring an audience to whatever they're working on, and it just helps, and it's just a constant loop. What's so powerful about content creation is that you have a huge audience, especially when you start getting a lot of subscribers and followers, and then you can just instantly bring that into anything that you make, and you're going to instantly have a lot of supporters, instantly have a lot of people that will buy stuff for you. And it just makes a lot of these methods a lot easier to make Robux from and money from. And you can make a ton of money from YouTube and other content creation platforms. So I would put content creation at a solid S tier. It is a great way, definitely a good way to combo other methods. Lastly, we have this money bag here. You're probably wondering what method this is for, and this is for investing. Now, I put this last because I feel like it probably doesn't apply to that many people watching, but it is definitely a valid way to make Robux, and very, very powerful, especially when you start making more and more Robux. So what investing on Roblox is basically when you start putting Robux into people or games. So maybe you really believe in somebody that's working on a really cool game that you just really like, and you want to give them some Robux to fund the game, fund some developers and stuff. So you give them a certain amount of Robux, they'll give you a share of the game. You can get 10% of all the earnings. And then if that game actually works out and your fund really helped, then you can just get 10% of whatever they make. So if that game makes 10 million Robux and you have 10%, that's a million Robux straight to you. No work needed, Didn't have to work on the game, you just funded it and you're good. And that's why investing is so powerful, especially when you start making like a ton of Robux. Because if you have like 10 million Robux, you can just throw 100k there, throw 100k there. Obviously don't just throw 100k at random games that you don't really see a potential in. But if you really believe in a game and you actually know the owners and you see their vision and you think there's something there, you can definitely throw in some Robux and just see what happens. And if you're rich on Roblox, then worst case scenario is you lose a little bit of Robux and you're fine. You're back to normal. I would put investing at a solid A tier. I think it's a great way, very valid way to make Robux. Only reason it's not S tier is because you do need a lot of Robux to invest, probably over 1 million Robux to be honest, to really make anything from investing. I wouldn't even think about investing until you've made at least 1 million Robux or more, because if you have like 100k, you can't really invest that much into anything, so it's just not really worth it. So as you can see, there is the list of all current Robux making methods. Keep in mind that you can still get rich from every method here, and they're all great ways to make Robux, but I would probably consider doing S or A above anything else, just because these are really good methods to work. But I would definitely suggest starting one of these. Anything that just jumps out to you, start working on it. You can combo it with content creation, that would work really well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.